Now we're just checking the rear locker. Now she's all back together. It sounds quite chunky underneath the truck, but inside it's really quiet. It's working beautifully. Now I've just cable tied it under the truck, so it's pointing at the diff, so we'll see what she does. On the outside, oops. You can hear it on the outside. After doing a bit of research online, I found a guy had some really good success with Royal Purple synthetic. So looking around New Zealand here, I found this giant Synthor 80W90, which is fully synthetic, and it seems to have done the trick for me. The lockers are very, very quiet, whether it's my setup and the oil, or whether it's the oil, but I think the oil has a lot to do with it. So this is inside the truck, and we're just going into a tight turn. Just you know, I got more vibration and noise than anything in here. I'll get some speed up. I'm off the gas, totally off the gas now. Wind my window down. You can just hear it. hear it a bit. It's definitely unlocked. Okay, I'll just go over a few things. I didn't video me stripping down the front and rear diff or rebuilding the front and rear diff because it was late at night and quite time consuming, but there's a couple of things I'll just go through. With the front open diff, you only have one centre pin, and it is relatively easy and straightforward to set up. On the rear diff, I had a LSD which has a cross pin, and on the cross pin there is a steel plate on the side which is a spring plate. Now if you leave that spring plate on, you alter the centre of the pin and everything will be offset. So I set it up with the spring plate on there just to see, and then I took the spring plate off, and it sits on these two little nipples, and you grind the nipples off. This is the cross, and that spring plate adds an extra 50 thou. So if you use the spring plate and you use your limited slip clutch pack as a spacers, you end up with about 3 spacers on this side and 2 spacers on this side because of the spring plate being the extra 50 thou, and your gap in the middle will be 200 thou. Well, your tolerance that they say is 145 to 165. So for setting up with the spring plate and you've got 200 thou, if you take that 50 thou off, being the spring plate, then you're back down to 150 thou, which is within tolerance. So I had initially set it up with the spring plate on, and then I set it up without the spring plate, and I had 11 thou on, say, the right side and 5 thou on the left side. So I just added an extra 6 thou, which I went through the limited slip clutches, and they say not to swap them around, but I swapped them all around back and forward until I got a measurement that was even on both sides. So when I finally set up my rear limited slip diff, I ended up with both sides being 11 thou, and the tolerance was 145 for the centre clearance. Well, I'm pretty close to 140 thou. I think I might have been 142. So I was a little bit underneath it. And as you've seen in the video, it is working fine. It's clicking over fine, and it is really quiet inside. Now their side ones, they say between 6 thou and 20 thou is your tolerances. So I emailed the guys at Lokka in Australia and said what was the best settings, and they said as close to 6 thou as possible and as close to 145 thou as possible. So in that respect I mucked around for quite a long time so that I could get my settings down closer to 6 thou, but I couldn't get any lower than 11 thou on my cross pin without any machining or extra bits and pieces. And my centre was, like I say, was about 142. So overall I was quite happy with that and threw it all together. So if you do have a limited slip diff in the rear, then the difference between a limited slip pack and a open locker is about $300. There's only an extra couple of grooves in the locker for the four-way pin, but an open diff locker is about $500 and an LSD locker is about $800. So if you've got the money, or if you've got somebody who's got a cheap open locker, then I would look at that option as just sticking open lockers front and rear. They're a little bit easier to set up, but if you've got one lying around or a mate that wants to dump one, then don't worry about rebuilding the limited slip diff. You could possibly sell that off, make some money out of it, because they're more of a wanted item, or keep it as a good spare. They go really well in the front, and yeah, just open diff front and rear. But anyway, really happy with my build at the moment, and it's so quiet inside, honestly I can't hear the locker working front or rear, or front and rear locked up together. So the next video will be back out in the hills and doing some trials and comparing with my earlier trials where I never had any lockers. Cheers.